All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another wonderful edition of Inclusion Matters podcast brought to you by Inclusion Pro Wrestling. Tonight, we're actually honored to have our first signee. You know, he says he took a dead corpse to his senior prom. We might get into that in a little bit, but this man has been trained by a legend in the state of Washington. And of course, we'll get into that definitely later on. But let's introduce my esteemed guest hosts here. You know, let's first go to the bottom screen. The man with the plan, the man who actually saves the Inclusion Pro Wrestling commentating team because he's so quick-witted. He's so tap. But we call him the principal, Mr. Tap. And the gentleman beside me in the upper corner beside me, I don't even want to introduce him because he puts me to sleep every night because he talks like paint drying and a little sloth talking. I don't know why.
Whoa there, Mr. Heartbreaker. You better take it easy there.
Wants him as their manager, but you know, that's for another time, obviously. Seattle's Most Wanted. I don't know what you saw in this man, but he can't talk a lick, and he's going to put our fans to sleep.
And that's why he has us.
He's
right.
To spread his word for him.
He's the one and only, not Messiah, because he can't even get a WrestleMania or an AEW pay-per-view correct. You know, Messiah's know-it-all. So he's no longer the Messiah. He is now just known as the lowly old cripple who has to have somebody wheel. Actually, I can't even say has to have him wheel himself around anymore because he actually has transportation.
Yep.
But, you know, I can't forgive him because he still likes that ever-loving Orange Cassidy. I mean, if you would actually go and watch a real man like Nick Wayne, maybe you'd learn a thing or three.
Nick Wayne, I used to beat him into the ring when I used to practice with his father. That little kid will never lace up my boots. Nick Wayne.
See, you talking about a real man, you better look below you because that's the best real man in the Northwest right there. You ask why they chose me, why wouldn't they choose the Messiah?
Okay, I didn't ask you a question there, Messiah.
No, but you got the answer.
So, you in timeout. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. So, he learned to take his training wheels off. He's a smart Messiah. So I guess we'll let him go ahead and start the show since he is the manager for SMW. But you know, I've got some choice words for your little PJ freak dude though. So, but anyway, carry on, Mr. Messiah.
Little PJ freak. You better watch yourself, Heartbreaker.
Better be careful. And you know the only reason why I put you to sleep? Everybody's got to put a baby Huey lookalike to sleep. So, I mean, you know, people put babies to sleep all the time. But to be fair, I'm going to throw this back to you because you had a brainchild for a match that I know that you want to talk about.
Oh, are you talking about May the 4th be with you? Are you talking about the Galactic Warfare where Seattle's Most Wanted actually gets to go and play with that T-Rex loving group?
That's what I'm talking about. You mean when we get to beat up Barty finally for every kid out there that thought they wanted to beat up Barty at one point or another?
Hell yeah, nobody loves him no more.
Yeah, you are right. I guess this was my brainchild, but I can now announce, since we've actually got this going, May 4th, Galactic Warfare. Not the main event, ladies and gentlemen. Oh no. Galactic Warfare is kicking the show off. A 5-on-5 elimination match to kick the show off.
That is
And
awesome.
You'll have 3 of your members involved in that match,
Yes.
and 2 guest members of my choosing joining your team.
Of your choosing?
Of my choosing.
Well, you better choose good because you know me, PJ Freak no tag team with no losers, except for my SMW brethren because we are not losers.
Well,
But
we will get into your tag team partners at the end of this.
But Mr. Heartbreaker, sir, not to start up anything, or maybe two. It doesn't matter who you put with SMW. I mean, they're gonna carry the rest of these two, whoever you pick, through the match anyway. So
Okay. Well, we'll get into that later tonight. But the first question, I guess I'll kick the questions off. Mr. Freak, sir, how dare
Yes.
you go and you freak out the spoiled princess? She hasn't done anything to you. She's terrified of clowns, and you're scaring her to death.
Well, us clowns, we like to be funny in any way necessary. And scaring her, it's freaking funny. And I do it for joy. I mean, come on. You're talking to a guy who took a dead corpse to his prom night. So why wouldn't I want to torture somebody for fun?
That is true. He did take a dead corpse to his prom. If you guys do not believe it, go check out IPW's page. You'll find it, his actual promo on our page, where he actually admits that in person.
yes. So my first question is, can you tell us a little bit about who you were trained by?
So, if y'all know, I was trained by one of the legends here in the Northwest. His name is Buddy Wayne. Buddy Wayne trained me in about 2017, if I'm not mistaken, because I was still coming off of the streets. I was still coming off of like joining gangs and doing all this stuff. And well, I went to his class and I started actually training and actually trying. And he told me, I got potential, kid. So he told me I needed to put my head straight on. After that, I just made professional wrestling my dream. And well, now I'm living it. And it's because of him. And if it wasn't because of him training me, I wouldn't be here. And like I said, RIP to the legend. And it sucks that, he had to leave this earth, but I will always have my good memories of him when he first gave me a freaking chop across my chest. Oh man, I got chopped by everybody, but his hurt. And I mean hurt. And then he taught me how to do my submission move that I use, known as the high voltage lock, which is an anaconda vice, but with a little bit of a PJ, with a little bit of PJ spice,
Very intriguing.
Yeah, he made sure that I used that submission move in one of my arsenals, and basically I use it as a last resort.
I can see
If my freak maker won't end you, then that will.
All right, Snap. What do you got?
Besides looking like a human toe.
I wouldn't be talking forehead.
Hey, you're just mad because I make this look good.
No, you're just jealous I have better
All
looking
right,
hair than you.
ask your question.
What made you choose your finisher?
So the Freak Maker. All right. So believe it or not, I'm actually known as the man of 1,000 moves. I have a lot of moves in my arsenal that I like to finish you with, but the main one I do use is the Freak Maker. And well, I was always a fan of Kazuchika Okada, and maybe I shouldn't be saying this name, but Jimmy Havoc, you know. And I loved the way he used his Acid Rainmaker and then the Rainmaker. And well, to me, like a power bomb or a DDT or something like that, it wasn't my style. My style is like, like I grew up fighting. I grew up, like defending myself. So why not a ripcord lariat to the freaking neck to end them? I got strong arms, so of course I'm gonna use a Rainmaker.
Of course. All right, Heartbreaker, what do you got? All right, so let's go back to something really quick. The Heartbreaker asked you why you were scaring the spoiled princess. Let's look at it this way. Maybe you're not scaring her. Maybe you're helping her. People want help with their phobias all the time. And there is something called exposure therapy that'll make her, maybe help her get better.
Well, you know what? I never actually saw it that way. But I do love scaring the crap out of her. So yeah, maybe it will help her out. Maybe she won't be scared of this little clown anymore. But maybe she might not. And it's hilarious. I love torturing her.
All right.
And believe
Heartbreaker,
me,
oh, go ahead.
sorry. Just believe me, I am going to torture her until Andrew beats me into the ground. And I'm sorry, we all know he can't do that.
Well, he has a two-time. I mean, he is a double champion for a reason, right?
Well,
For
he is
now.
a double champion. Yeah, for now. Exactly. For now. I am a champion too. Remember that.
Yeah, but
First champion.
but not a double champion.
But I am a first world champion. When has he become world champion?
Nah, sooner or later.
Sounds like you got a big fan out there, Andrew Michelson, the Heartbreaker over here. Maybe I should torture you too.
I like clowns.
But not this kind of clown.
I like clowns.
I'm not from this dimension, so remember that.
Neither was it, and I loved it.
All right. What's your question?
Anyways, moving on. So you brought up beating up Nick Wayne. How does Dad feel about that? I mean, you were beating up his kid.
Well, his dad wanted to make him stronger. I mean, why else do you think in AEW they talk about him being such a piece of, garbage? Well, because, he used to put his son through a lot of punishment. And, he used to put us through it too. He put me in a crossface for an hour and a half. And then after that, wanted to continue. He wanted me to continue to do push-ups, and then after the push-ups, he wanted me to continue to run. How the hell am I gonna do that? Getting put in a freaking crossface for an hour and a half, and then having to go do push-ups, and then having to go run around, and having to go do this. Yeah, no. Buddy Wayne was brutal, but guess what? That's why there's a lot of us out there wrestling. Like you see Darby Allin, he's on AEW. Nick Wayne, he took all that beating, and now look, he's in AEW.
Yeah, but Darby Allin can't even go climb Everest anymore because he got his foot broken before he had to leave. So
I don't
He'll
think that
get-
kid would have ever made it anyways.
just between you, me, and the hole in the ground, I don't think he would have made it either.
I would have to
Exactly.
agree with that.
I would say he
Exactly.
would
Darby.
reach about. He would reach about take 100 steps, and then he wouldn't go any further.
He'd probably break his foot over there too.
Yep.
Probably. All right, Tap. I dare you. Go ahead, ask one of your off the wall questions. I'd love to hear the answer to some of these.
Oh yes, me too.
Oh yes, please ask an off the wall question. I beg of you. Normally, I beg you not to, but I beg of you. Ask an off the wall stupid question.
Do you dare?
Just remember, there's no such thing as stupid questions, just stupid answers.
You haven't heard these questions.
You haven't. That's true.
Go ahead, Nate. I want to think of a real good one.
So you brought up, well, the Heartbreaker brought up Darby Allin. Did you have very many, if any, interactions with him, with Buddy Wayne?
I did, because he was finishing up his training and he was already getting booked for Defy, and then at that time he was also getting booked for MLW. But they did have a fallout, and I was there for that fallout. They went to another room, but the fallout was pretty gruesome. And then, well, Darby went to go do his thing, and to tell you the truth, I don't know if they patched up after he died. From what I hear, they didn't. So, fuck Darby. Excuse my French.
No, we get it.
So yeah, Darby as well will never lace my boots up ever. He thinks he's extreme. I've been in death matches. He hasn't. He's only done extreme stuff, but he hasn't been in a match where you have to do it for 30 minutes or 20 minutes or however long it goes. So yeah, that's what I think about Darby Allin. And like I said, yeah, he was there, but I didn't really feel like talking to him. He looked like a pompous little kid, and he still does, Mr. Straight Edge.
All right, Tap. Do you finally think of one, or
Oh
do
yeah.
you need that hamster in your head to run around a couple more times before?
Oh no.
Again, I apologize for this in advance.
And I
And
do want to
feel-
say we could get you his address if these are too bad.
And feel free
Oh,
on
believe me, I already know.
and please on May 4th, if these are stupid enough, you have the Heartbreakers and the Messiah's permission to cast a spell and banish Principal Tap for all of eternity.
Absolutely.
So go ahead.
Maybe I should just bring. I'll just bring a few of my friends to play with him.
Go ahead, Tap. Ask your question.
No pressure.
No pressure.
What is the one movie King Kong Bundy was in?
Now that is actually a good question because I do not know. I want to say Ready to Rumble, but I don't know.
That's what my first thought too when he asked that the first time.
But do you know?
Yep.
Well,
I know it.
that's cool. Well, I can tell you right here, right now, I don't know.
Do you know?
I was gonna say something like in the 80s, like one of the Hulk Hogan movies that he just
Nope.
piggybacked off of, but
Nope. He was in a movie with one of the legendary actors of his time,
Okay.
Richard Pryor.
I have no idea.
Moving.
I have never even heard of that movie.
Neither have I.
King Kong Bundy played a furniture mover for a moving company.
Hell, why the hell didn't they
And
just
Richard
cast
Pryor
him as
knocked
the
him out.
as the furniture?
All right. And that is the one stupid question of the day. This is brought to you by PJ Freaks Dead Corpse to the Prom.
I mean, are you even gonna are you even gonna ask me what kind of dead corpse I took? Like,
We've all been tempted to ask, but I think we've all been scared. So,
well, until you ask, then you'll know what kind of dead corpse I took.
All right, Heartbreaker, what you got? And I'm hoping I know the question you're gonna ask.
all right, Mr. Freak, tell us what the dead corpse you took to the prom was, so we can all finally know the answer.
All right, you guys want to know the answer. All right, so yeah, when I was 17, I went to my what was it to it's that prom night after the football games. I forget what it was called.
Homecoming?
Homecoming. Yeah, homecoming. There we go. So I go to homecoming, finding out this one girl stood me up. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go paint up, and then I'm gonna come back as the freak. So as I was coming back, I decided to stop by a KFC. And I was like, oh, okay. Got myself a bucket of chicken, went over there, and I started dancing with it. That's the dead corpse I took to my prom night. A dead Kentucky Fried Chicken. I told you, I'm crazy.
The first thought I had in my mind is I bet that corpse was finger licking good.
Oh, she was.
Okay.
Oh, man. Everybody looked at me and was like, what the heck? And then I looked at them. I was like, are you guys really going to question the guy who's dancing with a dead corpse right now? They looked at me and they're like, dead corpse? I was like, yeah, this freaking chicken died, obviously, so I can eat it. So, yes, there's the answer to the question. The dead corpse was a Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Honestly,
A 9-piece.
It had to be the 9-piece. Honestly, there was a lot of thoughts that went through my head of what the corpse might have been, but that wasn't one of them.
I mean, it could have been a roast beef, It could have been a steak, Thing is, I took a dead corpse.
You're not wrong.
Exactly. Never am.
All right, Messiah.
So, you recently had your first match at Inclusion Pro Wrestling. Can you tell us your impressions and your thoughts?
So, my opponent was also my stablemate, SP8. So in the back, when you came to us and started talking to us, remember, he basically told us to F off. So I told him, me and you are going to have a match then in that ring. If I beat you senseless, you're going to join SMW. If you don't, and if you win, I'll let you walk. And what happened? SPA got a beat down. He changed his mind and figured out that SMW is the way to go. And the match, it went awesome because, like I said, I got to inflict pain on somebody. And then I also got to put my body on the line as well after that little somersault flip that I did to the outside.
Which was awesome.
It was spectacular.
All right.
So, Inclusion Pro Wrestling, I love it. And guess what? PJ is inclusion for life.
All right. And with that, Tap, I'd be careful with these next questions because if he's inclusion for life, he can span out your torture for as long as he wants.
This is one of our staple questions that we normally ask. And of all the times we asked it, we only had one obnoxious answer from to this. What is your favorite cookie or snack?
Favorite cookie or snack? I'm gonna have to say your mom. Just kidding, Professor. Just kidding. So my favorite. I told you. I'm not a nice clown. I told you I'm not a nice clown. So my favorite snack. My favorite snack, I would say, would have to be cotton candy. I mean, I am a clown, so.
That makes sense.
But also your mom.
Yeah,
I'm a cougar chaser, you know.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to cross my mom though. Heartbreaker knows that.
Wow.
Hey, well, everybody knows a clown makes life better and funny.
Okay, Heartbreakers, follow that if you can. And I'm not quite sure if you can.
Well, that beats Funny Bone's answer
Yep.
by far.
Funny Bone. You guys had him here too?
Yep.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Man, my encounter with Funny Bone was I jobbed for him. And he kicked me in the goddamn face for real. And, you know, I've been a little sour after that.
Yeah, if he quits eating Axe body spray.
Yes, that was his answer.
Like I said, I like PJ's just a little bit better.
I would agree.
And that's why
everybody loves my answer.
See, we're all in agreement on that one.
Well, your mom might not be, but
No, my mom will probably.
So, I guess we can still. I guess we can.
Hey, don't worry, Professor. I'm a good lover.
So that brings me to my next statement. PJ, if you want a princess, leave the spoiled one alone. Because I think Messiah can find you one.
Yes, I can.
Who told you that I was looking for a princess?
Hey, you didn't pick me as the Messiah and as the manager of Seattle's Most Wanted for nothing. I have my ways.
Of course.
Well, you kind of got me with that one. I don't want the spoiled princess. I just want to torture her. And I am looking for a princess, if you really must know, Mr. Heartbreaker. Always in my business. You see, now you kind of upset me. Why are you even in my business, okay?
Well,
Okay, you know what? You're kind of starting to sound like my father, okay? My father won't let me to the throne because he tells me I haven't found love. I haven't found my queen. I haven't found this and that. You know what? Screw my father and screw you. Don't ever ask me a question like that ever again.
Well,
I'll find my princess. I will find my princess when I'm good and ready. Spoiled princess, if you really must know, I don't want her. I just want to torture her. And that's it. Because I want Andrew Michelson. I want his soul.
And PJ, to be fair, you want to know how I got this information? Let's just say a certain reverend gave me a phone call a few days ago.
The Reverend Sykes, huh? You know, my father sent him to watch me in this dimension, like some little kid. But you know what? The Reverend let me know that he's not here to report for my dad. He's here to report to me. That's why he's going to spread my word to my newfound congregation in CPW on the 30th. And just remember, Heartbreaker, don't ever ask me that question ever again. I'll find her when I'm good and ready.
Yes, you will.
Well, I don't think the congregation of CPW is going to take kindly to your reverend. I really, really don't, because I hear the owner carries her own kendo stick, and one of her sisters carries nunchucks. So and they don't take kindly to outsiders.
Maybe Reverend Sykes likes all that. Maybe he likes getting spanked with a kendo stick. Maybe he likes a little bit of, foreplay action with those nunchucks. Sorry if I'm going off the script here.
And besides, Heartbreaker, from a person that spent way too much time in religion, those who do not know shall be taught. So whatever the Reverend Sykes is planning to do, you're right. The CPW congregation might not like it at first, but they will be taught to like it eventually.
And if they don't, there's only one place they belong, in my dungeon, for not following their newfound prince.
So is that why our congregation doesn't like you as a heel? Because they have their own beliefs, and even the good Nos and the good prince over there couldn't turn Nos to the dark side.
But here's the thing. I'm sorry, go ahead, Prince.
All right, so you say the fans don't accept me. Yeah, of course they're going to love me. I mean, the people love MJF too, right? And he's a scumbag. Of course they're going to love me. I'm a scumbag, but guess what? I play it better.
Well, you might be
I know how to trick people.
But are you our scumbag like MJF is?
I will make sure I turn into your scumbag. And if not, then I'll just turn into your freak.
And why did the people accept me at our last show? Why not? Right? Not all messiahs have to be hated or feared. The people saw my message, they heard my message, and they accepted my message. And as such, will accept SMW as the number one faction in Inclusion Pro Wrestling.
We coming for the gold.
It sounds to me it's just a power-hungry owner that forgets he has another half involved in this.
No, I know I have another half. I have no problem with you as of yet. The only problem I had a problem with and that I had to go get backup for, and believe me, I did, as you can see right here, is that prehistoric dinosaur who tries to dance as he comes out to the ring, but can't.
I've yet to see this dance, so I've got to remain neutral.
Well, count yourself lucky.
Look, you go ahead, Heartbreaker, and remain neutral all you want, but just know, all right, Taekwon Bro, Cyrus, and the chef are gonna get a beatdown of their life on the May the Fourth be with you. And I personally will take care of the chef. Nobody gets in my face like the way he did. He will bow to this prince, whether he likes it or not.
Thank you, Mr.
And Heartbreaker, guess what? You're going to bow as well, because I am your newfound prince. And if you keep disrespecting Mr. Nos like that, I'll make sure you bow in front of the whole crowd.
It sounds like I've got backup in the room now finally too, which is nice to see. That's right.
All you got in there is a cheesehead that thinks he's gonna be beating the prince come.
Now be careful there, Mr. Nos. Remember, he is our champion. Or is he my champion. I mean, you choose. You have to pick a side.
Messiahs don't pick sides. Messiahs guide people to their side.
Hmm. Okay.
Speak it. What about that, Heartbreaker? That's some truth right there for you.
Okay. Well, you got to remember the Good Son is still a champion in our promotion, and I don't see him losing that championship any time soon.
No,
Oh, believe me, he will.
well, he has to tell his story, which, believe me, the story will be told. But I'm not saying there might not be some clowning around in the process of telling that story.
Okay. Just a second. Mr. Principal Tapser, this is how you ask a real question. Our fan, Mr. Lloyd Allen, would like to know, Mr. PJ, sir, in your professional opinion, who would win in a no rules match? Jay Briscoe or New Jack?
Ooh, good question.
You know, that is actually a good question. Now, is it going to be a street fight or is it going to be a wrestling match? Because we all know, and may God rest his soul, Jack couldn't wrestle.
Well, it says no
Well,
rules.
he could, but, you know.
I mean, it says no rules, so take that as it is.
All right, so then Jack, definitely Jack, all the way. Jack would murder him. Jack would stab him in the middle of the ring like he did that Red Flash guy.
Mm-hmm. And then Staple got a like $1 bill just to pay the promoter back for whatever the blood
Jack,
was.
Jack would make sure that guy climbed the scaffolding and throw him off of it like he did to that fat, lazy piece of crap of Vic Grimes.
Yep.
Well, hello there, Princess. And I must apologize. This was not my scheduled interview. This was all the Messiah. When he found out that you despise clowns, he had to have PJ come on. So I apologize, Princess.
Please, Princess.
Ooh, the princess is here.
Please,
Hello
Princess.
there, princess.
But believe me, as everyone's Messiah, I am not doing this to torture you, although the prince does enjoy that immensely. I am doing this to help you.
I can help you get over your fear. Just let me know when. Oh. Right now that she's about to climb on, all I hear on my head is that little circus jingle. And then just to freak her out a little more, we all float down here.
Okay, let's leave Princess alone now. Messiah,
Oh, why?
Messiah, take control of your interview.
I am taking control of the interview, but you're right. We don't want to push it too far, so.
Alrighty, all right. I guess I'll leave the little princess alone for now.
So, if you had a dream opponent, who would it be, and why?
Anywhere in the world, like anybody.
Anywhere in the world.
Now, are we talking about now or like past wrestlers still wrestling now, or
Doesn't matter. Anyone. Like if
anyone,
a promoter
anyone.
came up and said, I can make anything happen.
Nick fucking Gage. He calls himself the Death Match King. Well, guess what? The Death Match God is here.
I'm pretty sure we would need the blood bank on standby for that match, but that would be one hell of a match to see.
And just remember, I am royalty. Okay, I don't just take anybody's blood.
All right, Tap, what do you got?
Well, honestly, I don't have any other questions at the moment.
He's still surprised about the whole mom thing, you know.
He's still trying to process that. You're right.
Well, what about you, Mr. Heartbreaker? Any more questions?
So tell us a little bit about. I know you and I have talked about this, but tell us a little bit about one of your old rivals. I believe you said his name was Scorpion.
Scorpio, huh?
Scorpio, yeah.
You really want me to talk about that pendejo? All right. I guess I could spit a little knowledge on who Scorpio is. All right. So when I first made my way to this dimension, you know, like I said, I hung around with gangs. I did all this and that, right? I was trying to prove myself. I was trying to prove that my dad basically isn't crap and that I can be better than him. Well, things were going good for a long, long time, and this is how long we've known each other. There was a rival gang, and there was a man there by the name of Felix. All right, and everybody called him the Scorpion because, well, you messed with him, you were gonna find out. So he was from the East Coast, and I'm from the West Coast. So it first started off as a little exchange, you know. First, you know, we did those underground bare knuckle fighting stuff. You know, we beat the tar out of each other until we started training. Now, I started training with Buddy Wayne. He trained with another wrestler from around here. His name is Dragon Quetzal. He's a good wrestler, and he's also taught me how to do some lucha libre. So after a while, when I went to go learn lucha libre from Dragon Quetzal, I found out he was there, and well, we started fighting again. We started fighting in the ring, out of the ring, in the locker room, in the parking lot, everywhere. We do not like each other. And then on top of that, in one of the matches that we have, he goes and breaks my shoulder deliberately, just out of nowhere. Decides to break my shoulder. All right. So then after that, after I was, you know, after being gone for like a good three months, I did a little early comeback. I really did. I kind of messed up my shoulder. For everybody out there, my shoulder is my weak spot, but good luck getting there. And besides, I love the pain anyways. But anyways, like I was saying, so I decided to get even with him, and I put him in an ankle lock. And I did not let go of that ankle lock, and I snapped his ankle. So, I mean, imagine two guys that grew up on the streets hating each other are now wrestling that hate each other. And they're still wrestling, beating the crap out of each other. Whenever I see him, whenever I go to Seattle or something, I beat him in the streets. He'll beat me. It's a never-ending war. So, Scorpio has been my rival for a very, very long time.
Very interesting. Heartbreaker. Now that your minute and timeout is up, self-imposed apparently, do you have a question?
No, I've got a statement. Breaking news for Team T-Rex. His fourth member of his team is your arch nemesis, your villain, Scorpion.
Wait, what? Messiah, did you know about this?
No, I haven't heard nothing about this.
Messiah, you better tell me the truth. Did you know about this?
I swear to you, I haven't known anything. But what are you?
What about you, Professor? They call you the Professor, Mr. Know-It-All over here. Did you know about that?
Nope.
Hold on.
And Mr. Heartbreaker, did you know about that? No. Somebody better tell me something about this. Oh,
I signed him to a contract in Inclusion Pro Wrestling. I
How
don't
dare
need
you
the-
do that
I
behind my
don't
back?
need the Messiah's permission. I own this company.
First of all, Heartbreaker, you co-own this company.
Who writes the checks, big man?
Second of all, Prince, listen to me. You're okay. You beat this man before. You broke his ankle. You've got better backup than any little dinosaur is going to put behind this man come Galactic Warfare anyway.
you just make sure they stay out of my way. Scorpion is mine.
We can make that happen. That I promise.
And I'm telling you right here, right now, Heartbreaker, wherever you rent out, you better make sure you have enough money to pay for those holes, those dents, the dents on cars, because we're going to be fighting from the ring, from the locker room to the parking lot, anywhere we go.
And
How
by the way,
dare you disrespect me like this?
I forgot to tell you, Galactic Warfare has to stay in the ring.
why are you not telling me these things?
Because countouts and disqualifications count as eliminations.
You know what you just did right now is a disqualification. Is there any way you can find this man, Mr. Nas?
I don't know if I can find him, but you know what? We're going to definitely have some discussions with my lawyer after this.
You better be ready to pay there, Mr. Heartbreaker, because you just disrespected the prince. Oh, look at Mr. Razor Ramon over there wannabe.
Razor Ramon. He looks like Razor Ramon's grandpa.
He looks like Razor Ramon's dad, who really never amounted up to anything.
So do you actually?
I mean, at least Team Rex is complete because he does have a fifth member to his team that I will announce at a later time when I am ready. But Mr. PJ and Mr. Nos, you have to wait for your tag partners until the day of the show.
You can't do that. You can't keep us in the dark like that. But even if you do, it doesn't matter. I've got the 3 best wrestlers in the Northwest right now, so it doesn't matter who you put with it. You can put the janitor with us for all I care. Hell, you can put Tap with us for all I care. The 3 members of SMW are gonna take over Galactic Warfare and make it so you won't even want to have that match next time because you're going to have to pay so many bills for their hospital bills.
Especially Scorpions.
So go ahead, Mr. Heartbreaker. Although, should we call you more like Heartburn? Because that's about ready, what you're about ready to give me right about now.
He already gave me it.
Go
Yeah,
ahead and keep your...
But what's the matter there, Messiah? You got out Messiah'd?
No, that's what I'm telling you. It doesn't matter who your tiny little brain puts with SMW because we're going to win anyway.
Okay.
And just to let you know, Mr. Heartbreaker, I am quite a talker. So I will find out who these so-called partners of mine are. Because the one thing that they used to call me in the streets was Snoopy. There's one reason why they used to call me Snoopy. Because I snooped around, looked for the freaking information. And I will find that information,
Here,
whether you like it or not.
here, I'll give you one clue, Mr. Freak. You've got a dark horse chance in hell to win this match.
Are you saying who I think you're saying?
Dark horse. Thank
Mr.
you
Mc-
for the information.
Mr. Messiah, you already know who I'm referring to.
Oh, yes. Trust me, my prince. This one you will like.
I better.
But the
Let's
fifth
just-
member will remain a mystery until show day.
But let's just say I had quite a few ingredients that I helped put in to create this so-called dark horse, this dark horse that
Will he be my dark horse of apocalypse? Will
absolutely.
he? Then it looks like my horsemen are drawing nigh,
But
and their names are SMW.
But Mr. Nos and Mr. Freak, you're starting off the show. That's right. You were supposed to be in the main event, but again, Heartbreaker went and changed it. Swerve number 2.
How dare you?
Our main
All right,
event,
I am the main event.
our main
Okay.
event for the evening, the good son, Andrew Michelson.
You must be really, really crazy.
But it's
And
okay because
his
I promise you
princess.
this. You might put the somewhat good son, whatever you want to call him, and that little princess in the main event, but I promise you, Galactic Warfare, and mainly because of SMW, is what the fans will be talking about when they leave May 4th.
Well, I hope so. And I really hope the 4th can still be with you after that match. Because I went to Mr. Michelson after the match, or after the show last time. After he got blatantly jumped for no reason by your group.
There's always a reason.
Blatantly jumped by your group last show. He absolutely did nothing wrong to any one of you or your group. And Messiah, you used to be a fan of the good son until you went and you turned your group onto him.
Now you see, Heartbreaker. That's the key word right there. Used to be.
Okay. Now, to make up for that, I had to give Andrew, and again, it's an honor giving Andrew the main event of this show, because if not, you would have had a slew of lawyers not only suing you, but IPW. And I couldn't have that happen.
That's my lawyer calling right now.
You mean the lawyer in the Cracker Jack box?
Please. The only lawyers you got are from your grandson, and that's Milton Bradley.
Mm.
Nah, I think Heartbreaker has the lawyers from Hagen and Doss.
And you asked me why I joined SMW and I joined with the Prince. Every Messiah goes through an enlightenment. After talking to the Prince and seeing his ways, I was enlightened and taken to a new level. And a level that I promise you, you might not like the conclusion of, but IPW will never be the same afterwards.
I see. Anyways, you have any more questions for your posse member here? Your newly found prince?
Just that, unfortunately, because I have SMW business to take care of down here, I won't be able to attend, but I will be watching the match on the 30th. And I have spoken with the Reverend about some strategies. And I have no doubt in my mind that the Cloud Prince, Mr. PJ Freak, will be your new CPW Family Champion.
Because it belongs in the Juggalo family.
Damn right.
Yeah, well, just remember, it's Good Son 2 belts for a fucking reason.
And let me teach you one little thing, Mr. Heartbreaker, if you can squeeze that into that little brain about a juggalo. When you mess with one juggalo, you mess with all the juggalos.
Thou messeth with one clown, thou will get the circus.
So with that, I want to thank you, my prince, for coming on
Of course.
tonight. Thank you as much as, and I'm doing this for the Heartbreaker. Thank you, Mr. Michelson, for coming in and giving us your 2 cents.
You know what? Are you trying to close this show?
No, I would never do
Ladies
that to
and
you.
gentlemen,
I have to throw you something.
it's a travesty when the paint drying tries to close the show. Why is it a travesty? Because honest to God, he hasn't put me to sleep yet, but this is because it's been really entertaining. Yes,
I told you, Heartbreaker.
I would like
Take it easy.
I would like to thank PJ Freak for coming on this show. And again, I'd like to thank Andrew and the Spoiled Princess for coming on and backing up the true owner of Inclusion Pro Wrestling against his little circus sideshow and SMW. I mean, come on.
Sideshow.
That's all I'm
You better
hearing.
watch yourself, Mr. Heartbreaker.
You, PJ, are the true legend, are the true diamond in the rough of SMW. You don't need the other 2 members. You don't even need the Messiah. You've got it all for yourself, my man.
You know what?
You could be a champion anywhere. You don't need the Messiah.
You know what? Let me tell you something, Heartbreaker. Yeah, your words may be right, but guess what? I need the Messiah. You know why? Because the Messiah has found a new way for me. All right? As you know, a company decided to stop my booking because of one little thing, and I've already talked to you guys about that. Nathan came to me personally and asked me to be a part of Inclusion Pro Wrestling. All right? And then he came to me personally. When he could have gone to anybody else, he came to me personally and told me to start my group. I went to go talk to SPA, and like I said, he was a little hard-headed until I beat it into him. And Brian Brooks, well, that's another guy who likes to inflict pain, so of course he was going to join. And you know what? Now that I think about it, I do need them. You know why? Because I need somebody to have my back in this new little territory, in this new little Inclusion Pro Wrestling that I'm a part of. So of course, I'm going to be trusting the 8-bit wonder of the world, SP8, and the straight edge bulldozer, Brian Brooks. And don't forget about our brains behind SMW, the Messiah, Nathan Noss.
Thank you.
Let me just reiterate something from our evergreen champion. Is not always what it's cracked up to be. Where was the rest of his team when he was getting beat down? They were in the locker room having a party. And this is why he's on his own and standing on his own 2 feet now, because he doesn't need a team to do his fighting for him.
Well, let me respond to that. Believe me.
I'm not talking to you, Messiah. Shut your yap and know your damn role. And the next time somebody rattles their zipper, then you can talk.
And let me tell you something, Heartbreaker. You better know your role when you talk to my Messiah like that. That better be the last time I hear that.
Thank you. So now, You said he didn't need his family. Speaking of the good son, I assume. But everybody needs a family. So maybe we should invite the good son after your guys' match to join our family.
Mm.
I don't know if I like that idea. And besides, you saw with Yvonne, he's hard headed.
Oh,
He thinks he can do all this stuff by himself, but he doesn't know that he's got a target on his back, especially his little spoiled princess.
let me speak on that for a minute. The only person going to be joining your SMW group is when PJ gets eliminated by him, because it's in his contract. If Scorpion eliminates PJ Freak, he's the next member of SMW.
Again, you're writing contracts without telling the Messiah. You shouldn't do that.
You're not talking about Scorpion, are you?
I am talking about Scorpion.
He's never, ever going to join SMW. Ever. No matter what your contract says.
Trust me.
It's already in writing. Although it's hard for me to understand him. I couldn't really understand what he was saying, but he signed.
No, he was probably talking. Yeah, he was probably saying, "I'm a pendejo."
Trust me, though, your dark horse of apocalypse, who Heartbreaker thought was going to be a bad thing, but I trust you, or trust me, will be a good thing.
Mm.
Will be the newest member of SMW.
I trust you, my Messiah.
You know what I really feel? I feel a little. I'm feeling maybe we need to add a guest.
Ooh, you want to add a guest? What is this supposed to scare me?
Maybe we should add a guest. Oh no, that he deserves his own time to rebuttal. He deserves his own time to speak.
Anytime, anywhere.
So he deserves.
And whoever this person is, probably is not even worthy enough to be in my presence.
Well, I think we're going to wait and bring him in so he can have his own time, like a true champion deserves.
What are you talking about? I am a true champion. I already told you. First, UCPW, undisputed world heavyweight champion. And who did I beat? That little punk ass Scorpio.
Yes, but I think I know who the Heartbreaker's thinking about bringing in, and it's the man that you will beat on March 30th for the family championship. The good son, Andrew Michelson.
Of course, like I said, not worthy enough to be in my presence.
Yeah, his one belt to your two. That's right.
Yeah, he may have two, but like I said, is it world champion? No, it's family champion and so-called evergreen champion. Man, I got some greens right here.
Besides, he ain't gonna be Andrew two belts for long, because after the 30th at the CPW show, that family title's coming to the Juggalo.
And I will bring it to inclusion to present it to my Messiah to show what a good job I did.
That all remains to be seen. But for now, I think it's time to put the Messiah to bed. Principal Tap looks like he's a deer in the headlights. And PJ Freak, it's an honor as always. Thank you for being the first.
Well, I wish I could say the same thing to you, Heartbreaker.
Thank you for being the first signee to Inclusion Pro Wrestling.
Well, now that I can agree with you.
You know, it's like we said, there was a diamond in the rough, and we actually found it. And then we polished it, and it turned into this.
Don't worry.
Excuse me?
Prince, you don't need to worry about the light
What
work.
I was
handle.
meaning was, it turned in to the freak that Inclusion Pro Wrestling needs. For
The
now.
savior that Inclusion Pro Wrestling needs.
Oh,
The
The
prince
Messiah.
that Inclusion Pro Wrestling needs. And his messiah.
we
Every
have the
Messiah
savior.
needs a savior.
We have the savior, and that is the good son Andrew Michelson and his princess.
All right.
So
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves now.
You were doing so well, Heartbreaker. Don't start sliding back down the hill.
Messiah, did anybody
He's gonna be rolling down the hill.
Messiah, did anybody rattle their zipper? Because I don't want to hear you.
Like you have much of a choice.
I do have much of a choice.
If he turns out my microphone, I will not be silenced.
Ladies and
The
gentlemen,
Messiah's word needs to be heard.
the Messiah has been silenced. So,
Oh, how dare you? How
on
dare you,
behalf
Heartbreaker?
of Inclusion Pro Wrestling, on behalf of the Principal Tap, on behalf of our Evergreen Champion, our United States Champion, our Heavyweight Champion, and our Calais County Champion, again, thank you, PJ, for joining us this evening. It was wonderful. It really
Of course.
was. I don't ever get to do half of this stuff that I wanted to do. So until then, hey Messiah, I might let you out of timeout on May 4th.
You're playing a real dangerous game there, Heartbreaker. You really are.
But maybe I'll be nice and give him some volume so he can actually come out and close his show the proper way that he normally knows how to do. Messiah, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good.
So, again, thank you to the Prince. Thank you to Principal Tap. Thank you to the Heartbreaker. Everybody come out and see Galactic Warfare. It's going to be one hell of a match. That again will be won by SMW. And as always, we look forward to seeing everybody in their costume because it's also a Star Wars costume contest. And as always, for that day, may the 4th be with you.
And before we sign off, remember, if you're in Linwood, make your way to CPW on the 30th and watch me win the CPW Family Championship. And for all the wrestlers in Inclusion and for all the wrestlers around the PNW, may the odds forever be in your favor.
Alrighty. So give us just a couple of minutes to reset, and we will have the reigning, defending CPW Family Champion, Andrew Michelson, and the Spoiled Princess coming up next. But until then,
Bye-bye, princess.
see you guys later. Have a great night, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Good night.
Good night, people.